Okay, welcome back to another edition of Profit Pro Plus training. Today we're going to focus on the PMIX and the sales elements of the Profit Pro Plus program. We have this example set up to walk you through the process individually. Let's start by taking a look at our sales category in the Profit Pro Plus page. By simply clicking on the sales icon, the system is going to take us to that page specifically. You see sales up here at the top. Now, because this is a training example, we're going to walk through how to actually load the PMIX as a manual loader function. So just to recap, there's 3 different loader functions. Under the loader functions, we have our invoice loader, our inventory loader, and our PMIX loader. Today we're going to focus on the PMIX loader, but before we do, we need to set up the definition for our PMIX. Because every PMIX system has the same data, we know how to format it, but we don't know what order that data is in. So let's define that based on our specific PMIX system. Over here under PMIX definitions, we're going to load up a PMIX example so that you can see how this works. Now that we're in the PMIX definitions, we're going to start by selecting our PMIX data. So for our training example, we're going to load up our Profit Pro Plus training PMIX 1. We can see it's in a CSV file, which all files need to be. We select choose, and we get the green light here on our data, which means we're ready to take a look at that data. So let's start by importing that data, and we can see the way that our data is coming in. So what the program wants us to do is define these columns based on the way that the program data is inputted. First, we know we need a date column, and we look over here, and column 1 is exactly where the date is. Our PMIX ID, which for simple illustration of this, we've put right here, and that is in column number 2. Our item name column is in number 3. Our category column is all the way over here in number 7. Our number sold is here in column number 4. Our average price column, or our menu price, is right here in column number 5. And our total number of units times the sales price equals total sales, and that's what it's asking us for. And the total column is our total sales. That's number 6. So we're going to save this definition, and now we want to load our sales, our categories, and our recipes. And we're going to discuss the reason why in just a minute. First, let's select categories, and let's select recipes. Now we're going to pick that exact same data, P3 training PMIX 1, hit choose, let's import it. Here's our sold date. Now the sold date is the end of period date in which you're running all of your data from. We're doing this in a 4-week period, so that was the 28th day of January. January 1st started out our fiscal year, and we see our PMIX ID number, our item name, sold, average price, total categories. We can overwrite the data or we can aggregate the data. We can also put in our working date. We're going to put in our working date to the date range in which we ran this PMIX report. So that's 1/28/2015. And we don't have any data to overwrite because this is the first time we're loading it. In each subsequent opportunity to upload data from a different period, we want to aggregate it so that we can look at the comparative values from one period to the next. But now that we have it all in and it's imported and we see that the sequencing is right, we'll just leave it on overwrite. Let's go ahead and hit process and see where it takes us. So this is going to be the first alarm bell that'll probably go off when you upload the data. We're in our sales page and we see no information. The reason why is because we've only set up the first step of importing our data. This does not show you just your PMIX. While that data does go in these first 4 columns, the extension is going to be your food cost or your plate cost. Then your total sales, which will come from your PMIX. Your ideal cost will come from your reporting based on your recipes, and your food cost percentage will come from your recipes. So the information's not complete. So where did that data go? Let's take a look. In our recipe page, we were blank. Now all of a sudden, our recipes are populated. Because the PMIX system has all of these categories, it's broken down the items into each category. You can see that we have our burritos, our fajitas, our sides, our soup, and our tacos. But we don't have any recipes entered for these items. So this is going to fold into the recipe training. So before we can take full advantage of the PMIX data, we're going to have recipes in the system, including our batch recipes. Once that's done, then we'll be able to go to our sales page and see all this information populated. So let's take a TV timeout so that we can do the recipe videos in a different training seminar and come back and look at that after those recipes have been put in. Okay, so we're going to start out looking at our recipe page. If you've gone through the recipe trainings, you'll have learned how to build the menu recipes and the batch recipes. Just to recap, all of the menu recipes populate from us uploading our PMIX. In the PMIX sales report, when we break down that report by category and the items that we sell from our POS system and upload it into the Profit Pro Plus system, it will auto-populate all of these recipe names, categories, and sub-items within each category. So we've gone through and built every single one of our recipes, and now we will show you how that cross-populates back into your sales page. So here we are on the sales page, and you can see that all of that data is now in the program. So we have 2 pages for our example of total data that's been populated or cross-referenced from our recipes that began when we uploaded our PMIX sales report. Page 1 and page 2. Let's start by taking a look at page 1. On each item, we can see that we have our date, which is how we started this off by setting what our date was going to be. We said that's going to be January 28th. We're looking at a 4-week cycle that started on January 1st. We look at our item from our PMIX sales report, the item name. We also look at the quantity sold. So the average price, this is what we sell it for in our POS system. This extension is nothing more than our cost. And as we scroll over, we can see our total sales for the item. We can see our ideal cost, or how much it should have cost us to produce those sales, and what our food cost percentage is. So now we can scroll through and look at all of our food cost percentage items, and we can also do the same over on page 2. Look at all of our food cost items. So this is really a hybrid of your PMIX sales data and your recipe costs all bundled into one report. So that's going to conclude our look at the sales function page of the Profit Pro Plus system. We hope that this information was insightful and that it's made you feel that much more comfortable with the program. And now we're signing out. We'll see you in the next training video.